Good day everyone, my name is Jermin Kabanayan from BS Criminology 1 Delta. I prepare a video presentation about School of Thought in Criminology. According to my research, the classical school of criminology was developed in the 18th century, where classical thinking emerged in response to the cruel form of punishment that dominated at the time. There were two main contributors to this theory of criminology, and they were Jeremy Bentham and Cesar de Beccaria. Classical School. Terminologies and personalities in criminology mean in essentially a moral creature. Punishment can deter people from committing crime. The purpose of penalty is retribution. Thinking criminologies. A person's choice of criminal solution may be controlled by his fear punishment and more rational approach in imposing punishment. Argument used against classical theory. Unfair, unjust. The nature and definition of punishment is not individualized. It considered only the injury caused, not the mental condition of the offender. Hinduism. An ethical theory that state pleasure is the highest good and proper aims of human life. Utilitarianism theory of punishment seek to punish offender to discourage or deter future wrongdoing. Neoclassical school. Neoclassical school argued that situation or circumstance that made it impossible to exercise free will reason to exempt the accused from convictional. It maintains while the classical doctrine is correct in general, it should be modified in certain. Children and lunatic is not included as a criminals, they are pre-punishment. It considered certain mitigating and exempting circumstances. They believe the classical approach was too harsh and unjust. And it believed that certain factors such as insanity will inhibit the exercise of free will. Perhaps the most shocking aspect of harsh penal codes in early times was that they did not provide for the separate treatment of children. Positivist school. The school composed of Italians who agreed that in the study of crime and emphasis should be on scientific treatment of the criminal, not on the penalties. It rejected free will. The purposes of penalty is reformation. According to Augustin, positivism is the idea that only a scientific truth is the real truth. It rejected the harsh legalism of classical school and substituted the concept of free will with the doctrine of determinism. Punishment fit the crime. Comparison of classical and positivism. Positivist. Classical number 1. Legal definition of crime. Positivist number 1. Rejection of legal definition. Classical number 2. Let the punishment fit the crime. Positivist 2. Let the punishment fit the crime. Classical 3. Doctrine of free will. And positivist 3. Doctrine determinism. Classical number 4, death penalty for some offense. Positivists for abolition of death penalty. Classical number 5, anecdotal method. No empirical research method. Positivist number 5, empirical research inductive method. Classical number 6, definite sentence. Positivist number 6, indeterminate sentence. Chicago School defense and argument lies in the thought that these people and their act are not their faults, but they are actually the result of society and these people are actually in fact behaving properly. What I learned about the two videos is they both explain the lesson well. They both mention about punishment. The punishment from doing a crime in the classical school. Being unfair, example, it is unfair of treatment of punishing the person. Being unjust, it is an argument because it is lack of giving justice. The theory, utilitarianism, seek to punish offenders or the person who commit crime. In neoclassical school, children and lunatic is not included as a criminals. They are free in having the punishment because lunatic and children are not capable of doing crimes. Yes, they can do it, but due to who they are is acceptable for the punishment. Positivity school is it says here that punishment fit the crime. It's in the law example. Here is rape. Historically, death penalty was widely used for rape. Thank you.